Well, welcome to the Lakeshore Curling Club. We're here at the Under-21 men's provincials this morning. The women's are going on as well. I'm here with Adam, karaoke superstar from a couple weeks ago. Morning, Adam.
Good morning.
So we're doing a game between Team Loewen out of the Lakeshore Curling Club. They consist of the lead, Mackenzie Noss, second, Andrew Lawrence, third, Adam McCachran, Skip Graham Loewen, and they're coached by Karen Skiffington. Throwing the Blue Rocks is Team Young. They're out of the Mayflower Curling Club. Lead is Aidan Kavanagh. Second is Chris Churchill. Third is Karen McIntosh. Skip is Ethan Young. And their coach is Brian McIntosh.
So, looks like they might be throwing a corner guard here. Trying to set up a 2 in the first end. Sweeping up.
I can't hear you on my headset. Hey, go with this. Take the headset off. And just put it up to your mouth. That way we can hear each other. Okay. So corner card gone up by Loewen. This is Aiden throwing his second rock. I didn't see the call. Did you?
I think it might be a tight guard or maybe top 4. It's looking like it's going top 4, maybe. Oh. No, good tight guard here.
Good tight. Oh, I mean it's on. Now we don't have the best angle from our viewing location, so we're not going to be quite sure if things are behind cover or not, but we'll do our best. Mackenzie's not second shot.
So it looks like he's coming around the corner guard here. Lie buried.
They must be more comfortable with the ice now, because they seem like they're getting right into it, as opposed to the first games we did on Friday. I think it was Friday.
Yeah, it definitely looks like both teams are willing to throw some draws this end already, which makes you think that they have an idea of what the ice is doing, which they have been playing on it for a few days now. Ice is usually pretty consistent here, so.
And fast. So this is a C semi game going on. So Team Young won the B qualifier, so they are going into the playoff round. Loewen, I think, is fighting for the life. They lose this, they're out.
Yeah. Yeah, Loewen's been on no lives for a couple games now, I think, and managed to pick up a few wins to keep going.
The other game on Sheet E is Team Weagle and Team Strang. Now, Team Weagle won the A qualifier, so they want to win too. Cause I guess the advantage is to go into that finals with the least amount of losses.
Yeah. It's a true triple knockout, so if you have to lose 3 games before you're out, so if you only lose 1 going into the playoffs, then you have to be beaten twice.
Okay. Looks like they're going around the center this time.
Yeah, it might be playing a hack or board waiter here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Nice little roll.
So it's looking like that yellow on the left side of the sheet is completely buried, or else I think Ethan would have tried to hit it earlier. So it's definitely a good chance for 2 right away here.
He could roll buried on this, but he would be behind the tee line, which is not really to his advantage.
Yeah, it was such a long roll. It was hard to make very well, so. Loewen's going to come around the corner guard here. They could also split the rings, just lie too. But if you make this good, it'll force Ethan to peel, and you might have a chance for 3 this way.
So this is Andrew Lawrence throwing the rock. It's 20, and he goes to Acadia. Now, we've made the observation, it took us 3 days, but we did notice that the men's team seem to be the older age, they're older. Like the average age seems to be 19, 20, whereas with the women, most of them are in the 15, 16 range.
It's a good draw. I think that's completely buried. So
He's looking like he can see some of it.
might be.
Is he running back to guard, do you think, or can you see that?
I'm not sure. I don't think he can see it. I think he's maybe peeling. Maybe trying to run back. Yeah, so makes a straight peel and opens up those 2 yellows. The good thing for Young is even if this guard's made, it's hard to make it good enough that they won't be able to hit either one of those rocks. So they should be able to play if the guard's not made perfectly, they'll have a hack waiter to kind of roll back towards the center line.
Now, is it more important to guard the inner one of those or the outer one of those?
I would say the inner one. I think you want to cover 3/4 of the one on the inside, and just you only have to cover 1 inch of the one on the outside to really take away the double.
Oh, it looks like the weight was nice. As for the line, we have no clue. It's like
must be good because it looks like Ethan's trying to make the run back again. So. Oh. Never mind.
He could see more of it than we thought he
Yeah.
could.
It's a really good shot.
That's a nice result. Changes the end completely. Because if he hits this, it looks like he can only hit it on the outer side. He won't be in the house.
No, he doesn't really have a choice but to draw now. And with where that rock is, he got to nose, so it makes you think that he can access it again, even if Loewen does get, yeah, even if Loewen does get buried here. They're sweeping it early here for line, I think.
Is he light?
Yeah, looks like he came up just short. So.
Ethan broomed down to go top 4 foot right away?
Yeah, that's what he was calling. This has been a big turnaround here. It went from looking like a for sure 2 to all of a sudden Loewen might have a hard shot for 1. If Ethan can make a good one here, top of the button.
So this is the first of the skip rocks.
Yeah. This is also good for Ethan. You like to get a chance to throw a draw early. That it's an important draw, but it's almost a freebie. So.
Do you think it's more so for the skipper to throw that first draw?
Yeah, I think that any chance that he gets to throw a draw really where there's not a lot of pressure to put it anywhere in front of the tee line is a pretty good spot right now for him. Gives him a chance to just get one good actual draw throw.
Yeah. I find it as a club level skip, if you're throwing a lot of hits early and then you have to throw that draw, you're kind of like, what is it? What is the weight?
Yeah, I think that's the problem for everyone, not just club level. It's every competitive curler's worst nightmare is throwing a bunch of peels and then all of a sudden having to try to make a draw or freeze. It has to be perfect.
So this is Graham's first rock of the first end. So where did he end up? So he could go to the top of that.
Yeah, it looks like Ethan slid just a little further than he wanted to, so it does give Graham a chance to make a freeze or a little tap.
Would have been the ideal position. More top 4.
Yeah, full top 4.
You don't want to go into the button on that.
No. The good thing is even with where he went to, if Graham does make a good one here, Ethan can just throw basically the same shot and follow him down and basically completely cut down a scoring area.
Did you notice that delivery?
Yeah.
That's a Western boy there.
Yeah, it's from Manitoba, so.
My knee gets sore just looking at it. Have you ever tried it?
No.
You want to try it?
No, I don't think so. I used to be a toe slider, but I never tucked. Now I'm a complete flat foot, so I think I'll stick with the flat foot delivery.
That's the way it's pretty well taught across Canada, except for Manitoba.
Yeah.
Do they still teach the tuck in Manitoba, do you know?
I don't know. I'm sure they do. I know lots of junior curlers that still throw with the tuck. I don't know if they teach it, but everyone watches all their idols there in Manitoba do it, and then it's cool, looks cool, so I think that's just kind of follow suit.
So if you notice Ethan's delivery, his foot's pretty well flat on the ice, his left foot. Well, take a close eye on Graham's delivery on the next one. So it looks like Ethan's going to corner freeze on top of this one again.
Yeah, it looks like he might be a little heavy, the sweepers are saying, but yeah, looks like it's running there. I don't think he got the line or the weight quite right.
No.
So it looks like Graham can come to his own, and he's probably shot.
It's
Might
gonna
be close. They seem to think that he can just come to it, so.
Here comes the Manitoba tuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll often see it thrown with a corn broom, but they all seem to have their own little fancy brooms or different ways of throwing it.
He looks like he has almost where his hand is a little metal slider on the broom.
Yeah, a lot of skips, and, well, a lot of throwers in Manitoba will have that. It's almost like almost like a little slidey piece. Like sometimes they'll have Teflon underneath, just so it slides a little better, doesn't drag.
Oh, it looked like he wrecked.
Yeah, that's a 1 for Loewen there. So Ethan will be happy getting a force there.
Now, how important is it at the competitive level to score 1 or to give up 1? I know at the club level, some nights I don't really care.
Yeah.
You know, because you're basically feeling everything out. Giving up 1's not a huge thing.
No, force is definitely, especially now with the 5 rock rule. As back before, you know, force was always good, but now it seems to be just a little bit more difficult to get a good force sometimes. So. Yeah. Anytime that you can get a force, even at times now, it's looking like you're almost happy to just give up 2 at times because it just seems so easy with the 5 rock rule that they've newly put in. So yeah, force is always a good option.
So going across the sheets with some updates. On sheet B, we have Stevens and Callahan, and Callahan scored 1 in the first to go up 1-0. They're playing in the second end. Sheet C, we have Moore versus Notting. Moore is up 1-0, and they're playing in the second end. For Weagle.
Yeah.
Both make the C final. Team that has to win one game.
Yeah.
Playoff.
Yeah, they'll have 2 lives. They could finish either way, as long as Young and Weagle are in the finish tonight, or are in the C final. There's a chance that they could finish tonight instead of even having to play tomorrow morning in the actual final. So you love the advantage to have to have the same team beat you twice, because you'll often look at it and think we might lose to them once, but the odds of them beating us 2 times in a row aren't that great. So
final that we did play in, we lost to the team that we played in the final early in the morning. We didn't play well. And then in the afternoon we played well. It's almost like you surprise the other team.
Yeah.
Too. They're not ready for it. Well, we beat these guys in the morning. It'll be easy. So.
yeah, last year when we played in this, we lost, and we lost in this game right now. Didn't even get a chance to play in the C final, so it took away one of our lives, which we ended up losing. We had to play the final the next day and ended up losing. So you always want to have 2 lives if you can.
So the winner of this, of the provincials, will go to Langley, BC, 3rd week of January. That's a good trip.
Yeah, it is a good spot.
And we talked about it in one of the other games. They'll be playing on arena ice at that.
Okay, yeah.
It's almost at the junior level. It's a more level playing field across the board, because the juniors don't play on arena ice the same way at the men's level.
Yeah.
At the more senior level.
Yeah, there's only a few teams that really have that advantage that you've seen. Like Tyler Tardy's team the last few years had a pretty big advantage. They were used to playing on it. Some teams from Alberta, but some from Ontario, and some out west, but basically levels it out. They haven't played on it a lot, not a lot more than everyone else here.
Do you think that has anything to do with why the juniors tend to be more successful from our province than the men's and ladies team? Although the ladies team have been successful at the senior level as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It does seem like we had a very strong junior program here that I think just carries over. In comparison to a province even like Ontario, we have as strong of a junior program, and they have millions more people. So it just seems like maybe there's more opportunities here in Nova Scotia for the players, but then when you get to the older levels and there's more money being thrown around, I think that there isn't as many opportunities here.
Cool. So in our game, which we haven't been paying attention to, it looks like Loewen got up his center guard, tried coming around it, went deep. Ethan came around, sat back 4. This one just came up short. So Ethan is corner freezing to the one on the 8 by the look of the call.
Yeah, this end looks like it could get interesting soon. I mean, at some point I'm sure you'll see someone throw one hard and move some of those rocks around, but both teams right now are just battling, trying to get a good angle set up for themselves.
So this is Chris Churchill throwing the second for Team Young. The one sweeper down is always a good sign for me as a skip. It means it's like, well, they think it's close.
Yeah. Either that or one of the sweepers is crazy and but most often it's yeah, definitely that's close.
It's better than the doomed walk.
Yeah.
When you see both sweepers just walking beside the rock, like, uh-oh. This
Yeah.
is not good.
When you see them both back off the hog line, you know it's usually heading for the rock pile. So.
Yeah. And as the skip, it's like, what side am I pushing this back to?
So, looks like this one might be the one where they're going to move some stuff around.
A little blasting.
If he hit this right, he looks like he could be able to get rid of all three of the blues, but I don't think.
Just picked it out. Now, dilemma, I think you got to guard your blues now, don't you?
Yeah, the only problem is that he almost has them two ways at the moment, where Loewen can always access that yellow rock on the left-hand side of center line.
I think the ideal shot, if you could ever make it, is to come in off that yellow, just kind of with maybe a T-line weight, bump it more to the side.
Yeah,
just kind of sit right there. Mm-hmm. But it's also the highest risk shot probably as well.
Yeah, anything over on this side of the sheet, I think, is a pretty good spot if you can get it in front of it, a little low, closer to center line. Top 12 is a pretty good spot.
It's the communication that I find the biggest, as a club curler, it's the communication that's the biggest difference. Mm-hmm. It's like they're always talking out there. Everybody's talking with each other. I have nights when nobody talks to me, and as a skip, you're kind of like, well, what do I have here?
Yeah, it definitely does make a big difference. It allows the skip not only to make the right line calls, but also make some plan B calls. And
yeah. Looks like he's trying to freeze on that one top button.
Yeah, I think so. Try to just set up basically two ways into the rings. He can still kind of get to that yellow, I think, on the left. So
we have to change our channel up here. What do we have?
Yeah, so I think he's just trying to basically set up both sides for himself.
Oh, they're doing the walk. The walk's not good.
No, it looks like it might be carving in a little. That didn't work out very well there.
No.
That allows Ethan a chance now to put another one in there, top 4. And
would you like buried right on the center line?
Yeah,
top
try
4?
to
not
try
too
to
deep
get,
though.
No. You want to be as fully buried as you can be, but just be top 4, I think.
Just outcount that top yellow.
Yeah, so that even if they try to make that blue-yellow run, the short run, they'll still be lying the two in the back. Just try not to allow any chance to get rid of more than one of those rocks.
Super seem to like the weight.
This one might even be a little heavy.
So the pocket is there. He can come sit on top of that one back button now.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for Ethan to move with more than one shot.
I think the only other thing that Loewen might be looking at is nosing that blue.
And bumping it back.
And then, yeah.
Wouldn't the draw be the easier shot right now?
Yeah, it's probably easier.
Taps are always...
I think you would throw this one with hit weight, but try to get rid of one
Move
of the
everything.
blues. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you make the draw really well, it's going to be really hard to get it out.
This is why we love curling. There's
Yeah.
2 shots there, and neither one is wrong.
Yeah.
It's only wrong if you don't make it.
Yeah, exactly. The right call is the one you make. So
So it looks like he's playing what, about board weight there, hack weight?
yeah,
with
I
that
think
ice?
he's just throwing a tap to kind of frozen. It looks like.
Well, the inside sweeper jumped on it early, so he was trying to keep it straight. Now the post sweeping. That's a good result.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah, you are still definitely a little nervous because there are a lot of blues lying around and one lonely yellow. So
Ethan's first signal was to run everything. So
yeah,
run the guard back, maybe get all 3.
yeah, exactly. You could basically clear everything on the center line and probably lie 2, maybe 3 at the end of this if you made it perfect.
I think open it up would be his friend here, where there's the hammer.
Yeah, looks like that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
It looks like it's lined up pretty well that if he makes contact with the second rock, it's going into something there in the 4-foot. So
Yeah, even losing his blue up top there is not a bad thing right now.
it looks like he overcurled what he was calling, but still leaves that situation of Loewen is definitely in a good spot right now, but one misplay here or one really good shot from Ethan, and all of a sudden there could be a bundle that jumps up. So they got to be careful with where they place this one.
So he looks like he wants to hit the inside of this blue, roll to the center line.
Yeah, I think
By the
that's
looks of it.
definitely the safer play.
Blue's not his friend right now.
No. You can do a few things. If he makes the roll under, it almost guards the yellow itself. So it would be a good shot just to roll maybe a rock in towards the center line.
Now, if he did roll too far, that yellow that's biting the button is still not really movable.
No,
Because
it's
that
not.
blue is kind of stopping it from going anywhere.
Yeah, Ethan would have to throw the run, like hit the one on the center line, make the double to get rid of it, I think. Kind of surprised he played it that hard. But
So Ethan could come down with like maybe a hack weight, bump that yellow, sit
Yeah.
there, and sit maybe 3.
yeah, it would definitely be hard to lie 3 because I don't think he can throw much more than a back line. But he could definitely lie 1, 2, and be in a real buried, which would be a real good spot. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Graham Loewen didn't throw his first one with a little less weight and just try to
Save it.
save the shooter around and not move that yellow that was actually guarding the one on the button, because they actually touched the one that was on the center line, which opened this up, allowing it for Ethan.
So this is Ethan Young's first of the second end. So what's the weight he wants here? Put back 8?
Yeah, I would say back 8. You don't have to you really don't even, you want to be shot at the end of this, but you don't need to be third shot or anything. You just, if you can tap it back and be shot one even, you'll be able to hit it on the next. It really is just a line shot here. The weight doesn't really matter. So even with that, they're still only shot one, but it's actually a pretty good result.
Is there an option beside guarding on this? I don't see it. Because if you came down to corner freeze outside, you set up an easy double for Ethan to sit minimum of 3.
Yeah, I don't think there is another option. It looks like you almost have to guard the yellow if you're going to guard anything on the top of the 12. Because that's really Ethan's only shot to score a bunch.
He did tap right beside that top yellow in the 12-foot, but that's just preventing him from running that back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you could ever just split center line anywhere, it's a pretty good spot. I think it's really hard for anywhere on that line, just biting center, a little over the center line on the left-hand side, I think is probably where you want to be.
So what's up next for you, Adam?
We have the Tankard in mid-January sometime.
Okay, so Dartmouth Curling Club for that?
Yep, Dartmouth. I'm not sure what the date is exactly. I never really look. I wait for my parents or someone else to tell me when.
Skip will tell you.
When I'm going, yeah, exactly. Someone will get me there and tell me when it is, so. If this bounces off, it doesn't really accomplish much. I don't think that really did anything to take away Ethan's shot for 3. It's just 3/4 on that second yellow in the rings. Yeah, just like Ethan's drawing it up. It's a pretty good chance to score 3, I think.
Is that back blue?
It might go.
Gonna stay?
But
That's on the biting the back button?
yeah, it's close.
Does that go?
It depends where this. It might not be shot over. It depends where this one sticks that they're running in, because it should stay somewhere. Just because it should touch the other blue, I think, as well at the back. So could be for a bunch. It could be for one.
We'll find out in about 30 seconds.
3, 2, or 1 for either Loewen or Young at the end of this. That's about a guarantee. But I don't see any risk to it for Ethan, though. I don't think he can ever.
I don't think
the
blue top 4 is not going anywhere.
No.
If he hits that yellow's going to stop him. But those back blue.
It'll depend what kind of weight he throws. He doesn't need to throw this one super hard either. He can just throw kind of a normal to control hit weight. I think he's hit it too thin. Yeah.
Yep, went over the top. So another steal of 1 for Loewen.
Might be 1 blue. They're looking at it.
They're looking at it? Blue?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll find out when they. Who throws first?
Yeah, looks like blue got 1.
Okay. So we're coming from the Sackville Curling Club, Lakeshore Curling Club in Sackville. Just an update on the other sheets. Team Stevens is now up 3-1 on Callahan. On the ladies' side, on sheet C, Moore and Notting are all tied up at 1 after 2 on the ladies' side. And on sheet E, Strang has gone up 2-0. And they're playing in the third end. So we're coming from the Sackville Curling Club. The under-21 provincials brought to us by AMJ Campbell. Make your best move. That was our favorite thing to say there Saturday morning. Make your best move. Those guys are important to curling, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Without them, you wouldn't have nothing. Even the juniors, I noticed they have like the sponsors on the jackets. It's not just 1 or 2 anymore.
No, yeah.
It's 5 and 6.
Yeah, everyone looks like race car drivers out there nowadays with their jackets on. They got 15, 20 sponsors. The day of the old curling sweater is long gone, I think.
I think it's a more athletic look than that old baggy sweater ever was. Baggy sweater and the corn broom.
Yeah. Cigarette and a beer.
Yeah. At the Briar. So Youngwin probably a little heavy on his first one.
Loewen will just hit it.
We might have a cleaner end here.
Yeah, this could. Ethan has a chance to hit and stick and stay out of the rings if he wants. He could also roll
get his
in.
center guard.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what. But it is almost starting to shape up like they might just be looking at blanking this end. See Loewen come around this tight guard now.
Now, why would he choose this turn over the other turn? Just because he has hammer, he'd rather play on that side, or?
Yeah, it's also a little bit of that guard isn't quite on the center line, and if this thrower did happen to come up short, coming on the out turn side, which is the other turn, he would leave a better center guard for Ethan than what he already has.
Okay.
But if he'd known the, well, I guess that didn't really work out very well. But
no,
it was. I think that's a safer turn to throw if you know how to make it. A lot of times, though, you don't throw that wide to come around to guard, so you really don't know where to put the broom. So you would oftentimes just come around on the center line side.
See, at the club level on my team, I'm playing the other turn just because I know the player that's throwing is going to throw that turn so much better than the other turn.
Yeah, it's also, there's usually a little more curl on coming the other way, like kind of coming across center. So the only time that you can really make that in-turn draw, which is what they attempted, was on ice that has some curl. So looks like Ethan just guarded it. Now we'll probably see.
Is there a hole there? It's too far for us to see.
Yeah, it looks like he might just be throwing the angle run, which is kind of surprising here, but it's a real good call if you make it. Even if he misses it, it opens up the in-turn side a bit, so. There aren't a lot of bad times when you're clearing rocks out of the way when you have hammer, so especially when they're around the center line.
High guard, center line, I think it's the call.
Yeah, I think that will be it. And you'll see Team Loewen take probably 2 or 3 cracks at least at trying to make a double peel here before they have to change and maybe try to play a hack waiter or a draw. So this one's up there somewhere. It looks like there is a chance to make a double peel here. That's not super difficult, but I think they're...
Ethan would have wanted that more on the center line. He didn't want to leave that up that far, I would assume.
Yeah, a little more lined up, I think. But the high center guard is also, it's one of the hardest shots in curling now, is to make a high guard. Guys can hit so well that the double peel is so easy for them that they almost have to be perfect or else they're useless. And if you hog it, it's useless. If it slides deep, it's not much good either. So it's really one of the most precise shots there are in curling nowadays. Ethan's just going to throw another guard up and it looks like it's in a pretty good spot.
It's harder to double those off where they're split now.
Yeah, it's a harder double peel. Even if this run back's made, they're just going to get to come around the other guard that's left.
So he made that, left the shooter. So it's always nice to have that rock in front.
Yeah.
Something you can do something with it.
Yeah, running their own color rocks is definitely a lot easier than running the other team's rocks. So.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling when you're running the other team's rock into the house, and you nose the rock in the house, and you've left a guard up.
Yeah.
For them, it's like, really?
Yeah, you feel a little unlucky when that sort of stuff happens. Just with how hard everyone's throwing it now, it's just when something like that happens, you're pretty bummed out.
Because you're so close to making it perfect.
Yeah.
But yet, nope.
It ends up being worse than if you'd almost missed it completely.
Yeah.
So. The young coming up a little short there. It allows the Loewen team to try to get around now for the first time, really try to put some offense on instead of playing defense. So.
Look like this is curling a lot.
Yeah, definitely just like the weight was pretty close. It just looked like the line never really was what they needed. So now Ethan will get the chance to throw the same draw that they just watched Loewen team try.
How much can you trust watching the other team throw as far as line go?
Because depends on the guys you're watching. Yeah.
Right. At the club level, forget about it.
Yeah.
Because you've got so many different deliveries.
Yeah, you get to know, especially here, whereas these guys play against each other quite a bit. You know what everyone's delivery looks like. You know they're going to get a little more curl, or the guy who's going to run a little straighter. So you can.
So you can trust it more.
Yeah. There are some guys that you'll play against that crank their in turn or whatever, and you know that they're doing it. So you know that you won't be able to follow it, but there are the people that you can watch and trust, and all these guys throw the rock pretty good. So. It's a good gauge on where to put the broom.
I know there's nights at the club, it's like the broom's about a foot different from one player to the next player.
Yeah.
And you want the same exact line.
Yeah, it really does. Makes a big difference. Difference in just the rotation and just the positive releases that some teams have. Some teams have really slow handle on purpose to try to get more curl at certain clubs. And you have players like Rachel Holman, who, as everyone knows and seen, the rock tracks back 2 or 3 feet and has about 15 rotations going down the sheet. So.
It was interesting. A couple years ago, we had a competitive skip playing on our Wednesday night league at Mayflower, and we were talking afterwards at our after-game beverage, and he talked about the club level skipping is harder than skipping at this level.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with so many different releases.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's a lot more watching, and you got to know your guys. You got to know kind of their tendencies, and if everyone's tendency is a little different, it definitely makes it a little more difficult to put the broom and know where to put the broom for yourself when it comes down to your rock at the end.
Yeah.
So.
At the competitive level, you want your releases as close to the other guys as possible.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, if all 4 guys can have releases pretty close, it makes it real easy. When you come down to throw a rock, you know exactly where to put the broom for yourself.
So by the looks of this, Ethan just wants to come sit on top of that yellow that's biting the button.
Yeah, another one of those. If he can make the freeze really good and not bounce off, he'll basically completely cut the rings down.
Oh, it looks like they're sweeping for line. This looks heavy.
Yeah, I think they were sweeping to try to tick off of the wide corner guard. So, Loewen will have a chance here to score 2. The first real good chance for either team, really, to score 2 here this game. So.
Always nice that he just threw the shot as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
We were busy talking that we didn't pay attention to it, but so he should have the weight.
Yeah, he was looking at the split on the one on the right side, short of the rings, but you might be able to make it if you had to, but I don't think right now there's any point. It's a very difficult split.
That's more if you have to score at the end that you need that 3, but right now
Yeah.
it's like guarantee your 2.
Yeah, that's a 1 in 100 split right there. So take the free draw for 2 and.
Oh, skipper stopped at the sweeper stopped at the hog line.
Yeah, this one looks like it's running pretty close to Ethan's.
I think it's going to stick around.
Yep.
The kick of disgust that stopped in time. So Young goes up 3-1 after 3. A little updates from the other sheets on the girls' games. Stevens is up 3-2 on Callahan, playing in the 4th end. Sheet C, Moore is up 2-1 on Notting, playing in the 4th end. And on Sheet E, in the other men's game, there's too many people in the way.
Yeah, it's still 2-2, I think.
Is it?
But yeah, but there's a mess down there right now in this end. So
I'm seeing 2 for Strang. Did we go score in the 3rd? We have the scorekeeper beside us. Okay. That's 2-0 for Strang against Weagle. Playing sheet 3. They look like they have a mess down in the house right now. So.
yeah.
I think they just made a hit for 4 on E by the looks of it. Or 5?
Yeah, it's for a bunch, I think, over there on E.
So it was for 4. Wago goes up 4-2 after 3 ends on sheet E in the other C semifinal. So Loewen came a little deep. Ideally, Young wants to hit this, maybe roll a little to the side, set up a bit of a corner.
Yeah, I think so. They'd be happy with nose here, I think. Just
So when Gushu was here for the Dave Jones a few years ago, our team actually ran into him down at a pub downtown, and we got a little chat whether we should one-person sweep at the club level. So we actually started doing it, and we did notice it made a difference. The only issue is when you have a spare that's never one-person swept before,
yeah,
they're lost.
yeah,
They have no idea what's going on.
yeah. The directional sweeping definitely works, and it's definitely well, it has to have worked because you wouldn't see all the top teams doing it if it didn't.
No.
So that's.
Ethan wants to go around this at top 4 buried.
Yeah, looks like it.
So how do you find the speed of the ice here compared to your home club of Halifax?
The speed's pretty close when we're playing competitions and stuff. Here's a little faster, normally. It's a little straighter here and it's faster. But that's... I've been playing at Lakeshore for 10, 12 years, and it's always been that way. It's always been a little straighter and a little faster than most of the clubs that you'll play at. It's definitely probably the fastest consistent ice in Nova Scotia. There aren't a lot of draws where you come out here and a hog-to-hog time isn't going to be at least 14 and a half to 15 seconds for draw. So
They have the new pad at Halifax now too, don't they? Did they get a new pad after the roof collapse?
yeah, they got a brand new ice shed. So.
Okay. That helps. I know at Mayflower our floor is getting older and the ice makers are constantly dealing with that issue.
Yeah, Halifax is a brand new club now, which is it's good. It helps it. Good insulation makes it a lot easier on the ice makers. The ice makers still have to work to get the ice good, but it definitely good building helps.
Our team played in Berwick last year at their Apple Blossom Spiel.
Mm-hmm.
It was so nice being in a brand new curling club with the floor and everything.
Yeah, it was. That's where the Tankard qualifiers were just a few weeks ago.
It's amazing down there, isn't it?
Yeah, all brand new.
Members are very proud of it too.
Yeah.
How do you guard this?
I think he's trying to freeze in there somewhere, get another rock in.
Come the other turn.
But looks like he came up just short of I think what he wanted, but even that's not awful.
Just enough that he can't run that straight back.
No.
It looks like it's overlapped just enough.
Looks like Loewen's just going to try to nose this one and take out both the blues and keep 2 yellows up at the front of the house.
Is rolling out a bad thing on this? If he only gets half a rock?
You really want to try to stick there if you can. It's anytime that you can keep your rocks real tight to the rings like this, you're going to have an advantage.
That's not a bad.
No, that's good. Good result there. So
the angle, it didn't look like it was there.
No. So now it looks like Ethan's going to try to open it up a bit.
What, he'd like to have about half a yellow on this, 3/4 of yellow?
Yeah.
Roll the shooter out of the way too?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's trying, if he's trying to go low like that. I think that was what he was trying.
Okay.
They make it a little more difficult because they throw the opposite turn that a lot of teams would normally throw at a lot of those. So it makes it, if you don't see the call, it makes it a little difficult to tell what exactly they're calling. But I think that was what they were trying. Now you'll just see Loewen guard this rock and hope to keep it hidden for the rest of the end.
Do you like this higher? Do you like this tight?
I think you want it good halfway, like halfway to high-ish. Basically right where this is going to go, I think, is probably the ideal height.
So in the number system, this would be a number 2 guard.
Yeah, right in the middle. Try to make the double peel here again, open everything up.
Not exactly what he wanted. Didn't want to leave that yellow still up there.
No. No, now you'll see Loewen probably guard here. And then the good thing for Ethan is that he still has a pretty makeable draw for himself right now on both turns, just because of where that rock is only just biting the top of the forefoot.
Yeah.
These guys would expect that they make a draw to the forefoot way more times than they'll miss it. So it's a little bit of a nervous shot, but nothing that they haven't thrown before, nothing that would really get them too scared.
Why the skips get the big bucks.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, me being a front end player wouldn't want to throw the draw to the forefoot, but
I think the psyche, it's a total different game for the skip to start with. Because he's not sweeping, he's not chasing after rocks, he's totally strategy. And it's almost like you're for attitude, you have to have the confidence that you can make that shot.
Yeah.
If you don't have that confidence, don't skip. All right. I know a lot of players at the club level, they do not want anything to do with skipping.
No.
That you almost get skipping because nobody else wants to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know some people who coach some younger teams, and it's the same thing. They don't want to skip at all, the younger kids.
Yeah.
I think part of it's they want to be down with their friends. They don't like the idea of sitting down by themselves the whole time. But
it's lonely and cold.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one good thing about playing here at Lakeshore is that it's always pretty warm out on the ice shed compared to some clubs. So even if you're standing there skipping the whole game, you're usually not shivering.
Yeah, normally you can always tell the skip by the amount of clothing they have on.
Yeah, the hoodie underneath the jacket.
Yeah. We get accused of being bad sweepers at times too, though, Adam.
Yeah, I know.
I said I'm the best sweeper for 5 feet.
Exactly.
That's all I got to do. 5 feet.
When I skip, that's what I used to say. You give the front end players, however far, 100 and something feet to sweep the rock to where you want it. You only have 6 feet to get it through the rings. So the skip has to be the best sweeper on the team if you use that logic. So.
Loewen got up that center guard, so got the nice 2 centers.
Yeah, it looks like.
Now, could he choose to come around that now?
I think that's what Ethan's looking at, is the come around now, because I don't think he's ever going to get a chance to get a hit on that yellow there.
And it gives him a chance of scoring too if he makes this perfect.
Yeah, and it also gives him. There's a lot of positives. It also gives him basically a free shot here. This isn't the one that's going to count, so he gets to throw the draw first, and even if this is missed, he's still going to most likely be throwing the same draw again anyway.
Now, if it is missed, Does Loewen guard that side and make him throw the draw on the other side?
Yeah, he probably will. Or Loewen might also come into the top of the 8-foot somewhere. It actually bounced off to a pretty good spot because it gives Ethan some access to run that into that yellow. It's going to force Loewen to come into the rings again.
Any thoughts on hitting that, Blue?
I don't think you ever hit it just because Ethan can never score 2 by making a shot on it.
Uh-oh, I think they heard me.
Yeah.
Again, it's curling.
Yeah.
It's not the wrong shot.
No.
As long as you make it.
Yeah, exactly. You could have thrown the draw into the 8-foot, and Ethan would have had a real tough tap to try to score 1. You can hit this, and Ethan will just have the in-turn draw, but that's no give me either. So.
Would never attempt this at the club level, because you know it's going to go bad on you.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he gets to the nose of the inside, he's good.
Yeah, nose would be the best shot, I think, because then it doesn't allow Ethan to throw that out-turn draw at all. So, and I don't think they're having any problems with getting to the nose.
Now, it's interesting Ethan's gone to the other side now.
Yeah.
Where he just threw it down.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising. I would have thought he would have thrown the out-turn again. I mean, his weight was perfect on the last one. It just wrecked the guard,
yeah.
So.
I find that's probably the biggest difference between the juniors and the senior curlers. Is like they throw it great, they sweep great. The strategy's they're not there yet, the same way as what a senior curler would be. A skip who's skipped for 10 years and seen a lot of situations.
Yeah, well, the experience of missing the shot because you don't know it so many times than you realize sort of thing, so.
It eventually kicks in.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do this.
The older curlers aren't better because they just know more. They're better because they've made the same mistakes and been burned by them before. So there's no wrong turn here. If he knows this one, then.
Yeah, it's all about making it. Yeah, is it 1 or 2? Oh, just gave up 2.
Yeah, looks like a steal 2 there.
It's going to put him up 5-1 after 4. Update on the other sheets. The ladies on sheet B, Stevens and Callahan. Stevens is up 3-2, and they're playing in the 5th end. Sheet C, more Nodding. Nodding is up 3-2, and they're playing in the 5th end. And in the other men's C semifinal, Weagle and Strand. Weagle scored 4 in the 3rd to go up 4-2, and they're playing in the 4th end.
And it looks like they just gave up a steal of 3. So now it's 7-2 for
7-2 after 4. That game is important to Weagle, that they want to win that and make the C final. That'll be a big game between the two of them if Young manages to come back and win our game. Important to go into that playoff with only 1 loss.
Yeah.
I think that game is at 12 or 1 o'clock today. Check the website. All the schedule will be there.
2:30, I think.
Is it? Okay. I did overhear that there is a game tonight at 8 o'clock. As for tomorrow, I don't know if there'll be any curling. It all depends on what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, right now we have a boys game for sure that's going to be played at 8 tonight. The women still have a chance to be done. If Stevens can win this game and win their next, they'd be the champions.
Okay.
So. So I think you're going to see Ethan play a few more rocks in here and get some corner guards up. Try to get his 2 back.
Now getting to the other game, Weagle wants to put the dagger in and finish this game as early as possible, I would think.
Yeah.
You know, get that rest.
Yeah. That's definitely the key to this whole week is you want to play as few ends, you want to sweep as few rocks, you want to throw as few rocks as possible. Just so any chance you have to get off the ice early is always a good opportunity. You're always trying to do that.
So Loewen put his first one top 8 or top 4. Now he's putting the guard up. Looks like there might be part of it sticking out, but we can't see that far across the sheet.
Yeah, I don't think that Ethan would ever play it anyway. I think he's going to try to set up a 2 here. He'll be coming either around the corner guard or throwing another one.
He needs to junk it up right now. He needs to score at least 2 in this end.
Yeah, it's not. Even if he got forced, the game's not over. But he can't. He definitely can't give up another steal. Yeah. But he's definitely going to be pushing to try to score 2 this end. Looks like that must be buried. So Loewen will just throw another one in the rings, it looks like. And
if you can see it, do you hit it?
Yeah, I think you do if you can see it. If they can ever lie too, it's always good because these rocks have to be dealt with by Ethan at some point. So if you can basically get rocks in a good enough spot, Ethan may never be able to score with those rocks that are over on the edge anyway.
So Loewen wants to keep the play in that middle, in that 4-foot. When you start playing with the wings and you don't have the hammer, it can get dangerous real fast.
Yeah, that's how 3s happen.
Yeah.
So looks like Ethan's going to try to open it up a little bit. This is a smart call here. This is that he realizes that he's losing, but he also realizes that he has to score. So
he wants to hit this on the outside?
Yeah, I think so.
Make
Try
all
to get
3
rid
disappear?
of these 2 yellows. It's actually not a bad result. He gets another corner guard out of it. So if they ever can clear the center line up.
So I did, looking at the bio on the teams, that Young went to the Canada Games this year.
Yes, they went, and I believe
How
Team
did they
Moore
do?
was also there. I'm not sure exactly how they did. I know Team Moore got bronze, I think, at it. But
We'll check our bio. Yep, Team Moore took bronze at the Canada Games. I think the men were in the middle of the pack, weren't they? They did okay. They weren't.
Yeah, I think they were hunting for a playoff spot all week. I think just 1 or 2 games.
Was that played on arena ice, or was that played in the club? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
I think it was played in the club, but it was like a 12-sheet club.
Yes, I did hear that. I think that it was a big club.
That must be quite the job for the ice maker.
Yeah.
12 sheets to worry about.
Yeah, your wrists would definitely get sore pedaling at the end of it.
That would be a 2-tank pebble too. You couldn't do 12 sheets with 1 tank.
No.
So I missed the call. Was he trying to corner freeze on that yellow?
I think Ethan just hit it. There was 2 a minute ago.
Okay.
So now he hit and rolled away a little bit. I think he was just trying to get to nose. But
So
either way.
Loewen wait to hit this and roll to that center line.
Yeah. It basically tried to roll back to where they just were.
The Christmas tree is always good.
Yeah.
You know?
Looks like they might be missing it.
Ooh.
All right. So the only good thing about that is I think he might have rolled completely buried by doing that. So
It's a straight run back, though.
yeah, exactly. If he opens up the center now,
But does the yellow catch? The one that he hits, does that catch on that side blue over in the 12-foot?
I mean, if you could ever just get rid of the guard itself, you have corner guard set up, and you're lying second and third. So
don't worry about making a double here?
no, I don't think you have to. If you can just get rid of the guard right now, Loewen's definitely going into a chasing mode after that. They're going to have to start hitting your rocks. And if you can ever make a double, you can set up a 2 or 3 that way.
Advantage. Too young now.
Yep. Yeah, now Loewen really need to make a good roll here, or else.
What kind of weight? It looks like a board weight or something.
Yeah, I think just
By the ice?
good board. It definitely makes it a little easier to make the rolls when you're throwing that soft board, when you don't have to roll very far. That's really not what they want.
So, do you go behind the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also come around the center. The thing with coming around the corner is at some point if you get too good and you bury this, you're kind of going to force Graham Loewen's hand a little bit to have to come around the center if he can't hit one of yours.
So you kind of want to leave a temptation piece out.
Yeah.
Just so he'll make a play on it. Is it going to grind to a stop?
I think that one's going to slide too far to be second for sure. Yeah, so now you're going to see Graham Loewen try to come around to the corner guard. He could also come around the center.
Count this blue.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going behind his center guard.
That was what I was saying about if Ethan had have made that draw really well, I don't think he would have had any choice anyway but to come around the center guard. So by not making it, it also takes a little bit of the pressure off, so he can basically throw this free with only a risk of giving up 2.
Now he wants to get this at least part of it buried, I would think, because if you leave it fully exposed, it could be a double.
Yeah.
Just said 3 for Young.
Yeah, you definitely want to. The line's definitely more important here. Even if you throw it back 8 and you're fully buried, it's fine.
It's got to be buried, or some part of it's got to be.
It's got to be shot. It's got to be buried, or else they'll be able to hit and lie too.
Sweepers are going hard. Oh. It's close. Looks like it's curling hard, though.
Yeah, that'll chap off the guard. They think they got a little fortunate there, too, that they rolled in front of their own to guard it. Else Ethan might have a shot later to try to score 3. He still does if he makes this draw here.
Where's the ideal spot for this? Bite the 4 foot?
Yeah, I think a good full top 8 biting the 4. You don't want to be full top 4 or deeper, because then
He'll come down to
he'll
it.
come down and freeze on you, and it cuts down your rings quite a bit. You want to be deep enough that he can't come around it himself and be shot, but not deep enough that you won't be able to make a draw for 2.
They went early.
Yeah,
That's never a good sign.
early. Now they're kind of... It's either really light... Yeah, I think it's really light. Yeah, that's just not a great miss. It's a tough shot to get in there and be right where you want it, but you want to be a little closer than that. It gives Graham a chance now to make the same draw that he just attempted.
And he did just throw it, so
Yeah.
he was more comfortable with the line and the weight. I'm so fascinated by the tuck.
Yeah.
And why do you have a slider on the back part of the shoe if you're throwing a tuck?
Yeah, some of the guys don't even have a slider on the back. You'll see they'll just have the pod in the front.
I think he has the pod in the front, but he has a full slider in the back.
I think it's just for when he's sliding around on the sheet, just so that...
Again, not recommended for us club curlers to try sweeping with the slider not covered. It's always scary at the club level when you see that person sliding around all the time. It's like, okay, just a matter of time.
Oh, got a friendly little wick there. Wow.
It looks fully buried.
Yeah, I think the skip just turned around and was apologizing to Team Young for that one. It's definitely not what he was calling to wick off, but it ends up working out well. And
I'm on the fence with the apologizing.
yeah.
No. Especially at the club level where you get things happening, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
how did that just happen? I think it's the curling gods looking down. Nights when they're favorable with you that night, as opposed to.
So now Ethan seems trying to decide whether they're going to take on the angle run, which could be for 3 if he made it really well.
He has to score one here, though, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I think the draw is his only shot.
That's what they're saying. I think they're trying to decide whether it's worth the risk of taking on the angle run. Because missing the angle run right now is not good. You'd never want to give up another steal, but there is a chance for 3.
Like, what's more important, to go into the break 5-3 or go into the break 6-1? I think I like that 5-3 or 5-2 better than I would like the 6-1.
Yeah.
So I don't think he can give up one. He's playing the angle, though, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, it might just be a thing of nothing seems to be going right for him right now, and he feels kind of like he has to make the difference himself. At some point, he's going to have to make a big shot to get back in the game, so makes one now.
This could be for 3.
It's possibly for 3 if he can make the double on the back.
Be perfect.
Yeah. It's not an extremely hard shot. Like, this guy, he's a good enough thrower. He'd make this quite a bit, and he'd practice it at practice. So
looks close. Nope.
Just under it.
Had to catch a little thinner.
Yeah, just a shade thinner.
So that puts up Loewen is up 6-1 going into the break, 5th end break. Update from the other sheets. Ladies game on sheet B. Stevens is up 5-3 after 5. Sheet C. Moore is up 4-3 over Notting after They're playing in the 6th end now. Can you see E? I'm totally blocked out for me.
It's 7-3.
7-3, and
Yeah.
they're playing. They're going into the 5th end break as well. So we're coming to you from the Lakeshore Curling Club in Sackville, under 21 provincials. Brought to you by AMJ Campbell. Make your best move. Brent really liked that.
Just on the inside.
because it starts to cut down your rings a little bit later on in the end. So
Would the tick be an option there for Graham?
yeah,
Or is it too early for that?
You definitely can. Lots
No.
of teams. You see it more and more earlier in the games now, especially. A lot of teams. What am I doing here? A lot of teams will play the tick,
Tick being the
even in tie games and first, second, third ends now.
Okay.
Now that they're making it more, but
The tick being they would throw back 12 weight, try to catch about an inch of that rock, roll both almost right out to the boards.
yeah. The other reason that you might not have played it is just the guard's a perfect halfway guard, so it's hard to put a second guard up where it wouldn't be a pretty easy double peel.
So if it's higher, it's more tickable? If it's...
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, not that it's not more tickable. It's just that if you move them, it actually, like where it is now, they can't put a second guard that won't be within a few feet of it.
Okay.
So you can make a double peel. So and you'll see Loewen come around one more time, and then I would assume they'll probably start peeling the center guards.
Looks like the weight's close. The sweepers are keeping a close eye.
Yeah, it should be. It'd be real good if they get this
Trying to
full
make-
top 8 again.
Trying to make that curl with the one direction sweeping by sweeping on the outside of the rock.
Yeah, that's even a good spot there. Cuts off the draw, and it's a usable rock up at the top of the rings for now. Yeah. It's actually not a bad call to nose that. Stay outside the rings or just on. I don't think it's going to change what Loewen's going to do. I think Loewen's still going to walk up and peel those ones that are on the center line.
Do you want the roll to the middle? Is that more advantageous than rolling to the outside or a nose?
Yeah, you could definitely roll in to the middle a bit. I don't really know what would be best. I can't.
So now in this rock with the one-person sweeper, that sweeper's trying to keep the rock straight. The other sweeper's staying involved with it. He was given the signal that the weight was up.
Yeah.
So even though he wasn't sweeping, he was still being important to the shot being made.
Yeah, now, it's real close to lining up a triple peel here. So, all these blues could be gone here at the end of this rock, if they make this really well.
The top two for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're going to get that back one.
Yeah, it's a thick half is pretty close to making it, and a thick half's close to touching that other blue. Even if they miss the tight blue isn't really a problem for them right now. It's more these two up front. Which is pretty close to nose. Yeah, that's not the worst thing possible, but
No.
definitely a single peel would have been better than to do that, I think. Definitely gives Ethan a chance here now.
How effective is the second sweeper on a rock? The main sweeper's carrying the majority of the...
Yeah,
Isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've heard people say that it's somewhere between 70 to 80% the inside guy. So you're not useless, but you're definitely not the most effective one. So
I like the second sweeper, just from the advantage that you've got two people judging that rock coming down. I
Yeah.
know a lot of nights when we play with three at the club, the one person sweeping is kind of like they're on their own
Yeah.
for judging that rock.
yeah, exactly. It does. It's really useful, especially the one sweeper now makes it a lot easier to give weight calls for hits to allow the skip to know. Like if they're trying to throw a board weight hit, the one person sweeping for line, the other person can kind of communicate that it's a little heavy or a little light, or that's a better throw there.
Yeah, it's not always easy to communicate when you got your head down,
Yeah, exactly.
pounding it, trying
Exactly.
to get it in.
You're either sweeping or you're yelling. It's hard to do both and effectively. So having one person doing each is always good. So
Coming behind.
Yeah, coming around here. At the very least, Ethan has a force set up, which they don't want to force right now. They'd like to steal this.
He'd like to keep this up higher, I would think, too. Or deeper. He doesn't want to set up a double.
No, I don't think.
Like that.
I think no matter what happens, I'd be surprised if Loewen even throws it anyway. I would think that they'd just peel the guard into the one on the side, but.
Or the double.
Yeah. You never want to. You gotta be careful here. You never want to miss this double because this rock they're hitting right now isn't actually hurting them. The only rock that's really gonna cause a steal this end is the rock that's up in front of the rings, the guard. So
again, this being the right shot if they make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If they make it, it's a real good shot. If they miss it, it's like now they're in trouble again. Whereas if they had just walked up and peeled the guard, Ethan can play a little hit and roll under. And now
again, it gets back to the inexperience as far as game calling at the junior level.
Yeah, it's just depends. I mean, if they make that shot, they look really smart calling it. But just sometimes that's just the way. There's no real right call, just whatever you're gonna make. So
running the guard was a higher percentage shot of
yeah,
setting yourself up better for later in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Just running the guard gave yourself a real good chance to score here in this end. Now no matter what happens really this end now, Ethan should have a chance to make him throw a pretty difficult shot on his last. So, and that's all Ethan wants to do right now.
Double not there with this is because this is basically the rocks are even.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be throwing it 100 miles an hour to try to get over and touch that one over on the side. So just throw it a little more controlled where you're going to be a little closer. Now Ethan can try that same hit and roll again, or he could also just nose this. But
now, is it too late to run that guard if he does make this perfect?
It's not too late. You definitely can. It'll really depend on what he's feeling. I mean, he could also just throw a intern freeze kind of into the cluster of it and try to take it away that way. But Ethan will have to make this first. If Ethan noses this, he'll leave probably a double, and if he only rolls a foot, he'll definitely leave a double and give Loewen a chance that way. So I think Loewen's hoping for a little bit of a miss here.
Is this a case of that you want to score in the eighth end?
Yeah, it's definitely both teams want to score here. For Ethan, if you don't score in this end, it makes it really difficult to come back.
Yeah.
So as long as that holds in the ring somewhere, it's. So now I think he's just going to throw the draw.
So farther than what he would like, but
yeah,
as long as it stayed in, he was good. Takes away the double.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of this end, if Greg Loewen's throwing against 2 or 3, Ethan will be happy. There's always a chance that comes up short or misses a draw or something. So now he'll go to removing the guard here now.
So he runs this guard successfully. Ethan's going to go what? Top 8?
Yeah.
Try to cut down the scoring zone.
Yeah, I mean,
draw the full 4?
There should be, even if he makes this run, there should be a guard in play somewhere for Ethan to come around. Ethan will just try to get as much of the rings as he can behind the guard, and then he'll have to draw 4 foot. And just another one that it's not a very good result at all. That's really unlucky to do that.
So there's a couple options here. You could go where they're tapping the ice by the rock and drawing behind cover, but that opens up the 4 foot.
Yeah.
Do you go full 8 on the tee line and make him draw to half the 4 foot?
Yeah, exactly. There's a few options as to what you do. Anything in there, make him. No matter where you go, he's going to have to draw to the 4 foot now. He's not going to be hitting, I wouldn't think, unless you go a little deep as to where they're saying on the center line.
Look, they're having the same conversation we're having right now.
Yeah.
Man. He likes it tight to the 4 foot.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of good spots to put this. The only spot you don't want to be is wide open, full 4 kind of thing. Give them a shot, just a wide open hit. You'd like to see him draw against a few here, I think. They're not sweeping it early, but they're pretty close, so it's got to be. They look really close here.
At the competitive level, as a sweeper, how much are you concerned about line? Or are you leaving that totally up to your skip?
Yeah, you should leave it up to your skip, but you can. I mean, everyone's still thinking about it a little bit. You're watching it, but
it tends to be an issue at the club level. You have some of the sweepers that are so concerned with line
that
they're losing focus on what they should be focused on with the weight of that rock.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of times the sweepers get caught in the middle of the thrower and the skip quite often. One guy's kind of sweeping it because the line doesn't look good and they want it to curl, and you're telling them that's heavy. But yeah, for the most part, you just leave it up to the skip, or else you can really tick your skip off. So this is a little bit more of a pressure draw than he would have liked to be throwing this end against a few. The good thing is he just needs full 8 foot to score the 1. Good full 8.
They jumped on it early. Well, that's not a good sign when the guy in the house goes out.
But he doesn't look too bad, maybe.
The steal of at least 1.
Yeah, it's a good sweep to get that to only be a steal of 1. The sweeper saved a steal of 3 there, so.
The third went out and the lead bailed, so it's almost like put the fresh guy in.
Yeah.
That tightens up a whole lot. That makes it 6-5 for Loewen after 8.
Yeah.
Switching to the other games, sheet B. I cannot see.
Yeah, I think it's a decent score because I've seen them throwing rocks through for Team Stevens.
So. They must have scored in the 8th. They're playing in the 9th end over there. Sheet C, Moore is up a 7-6, so it's a close one, and they're playing in the 9th end.
Yeah, I think Callie just made in the 8th end, I think she just made a double angle run to score 1 or 2.
I know there was applause.
Yeah. Caught a glimpse of it from over here while I was watching our game.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, too, from the sweepers really don't want to judge the line.
Mm-hmm.
Because leave it up to the skip to screw up the call.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, not that we do very often.
It's a trick with curling. You're always trying to find a way so it's someone else's fault.
Yeah.
You got to do all your things right and let someone else mess it up.
Excuse me. I think my least favorite shot as a skip is if you're throwing that draw, you need to be 4 foot. Your sweepers watch it 3/4 of the way down, and then it stops in the 8-foot.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, the
it's
panic sweep just as it goes over the
Yeah.
hog line, and then you realize that it's a couple inches short of the rings. Or
That's the frustration of the game, but that's why we play it, I think.
yeah, seen a great mug the other day, and it says, I think my dad got it for Christmas actually, and it says, if curling was easy, they'd call it hockey. So.
I actually compare, because in minor hockey, I was a goaltender in minor hockey. Mm-hmm. I didn't curl as a youngster. I find the skipping position an awful lot like the goalie position, is that you're like the last line of defense.
Yeah, very.
You know, it's up to you whether the whole thing falls apart or not. Love the term skipper's deuce.
Yeah.
You know? So Graham went behind that center guard. Looks like he's top 4.
Yeah, I think he's. Oh, yeah. Change our little screen here so we can see what's going on down at the other end.
Put the young guy in charge of the remote. Things should happen. Not like us old guys who try to answer the remote.
So. So now all of a sudden the strategy for Ethan's really changed here, because a force is really good if Ethan can get it. They'll be down by 2 points, but we'll have hammer, and with the new 5 rock rule, you always have a chance to score 3. So, and scoring a 2 is pretty easy nowadays. So,
taking one a bad thing? Taking one's not a bad thing, I would think right now. You know, make it tied up going into the 10th.
Yeah, exactly. Either or is a good option. You don't want to give up 2.
Don't want to give up a multiple.
But either getting one or scoring one here is the real good option. Or getting one or giving them one, I guess, not scoring. But
I missed the call. Is he just drawing down to this?
Yeah, I think he's just freezing to it, and right into the crotch.
Right in the pocket?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Yeah, so now.
Any thoughts to tapping your blue to the button? Or would that just set up a double?
Yeah, where the yellows are, I think it would just set up something for them. I think you got to move the yellows a little bit. Try to unlock that angle a little and try to freeze on it. I think is. Right now, the whole trick is just being in front of the other team's rocks. You don't need to be shot at this point in the end. Giving yourself rocks that you can use. Might end up tapping the blue as it is.
A little too heavy.
Yeah, so he's tapped the blue through to the back 8. Yeah. Now if you're Loewen, you just make a hit and roll away and protect a multiple score.
Yeah, nose, he would set up a double, I would think.
Yeah, nose is.
So he wants to roll away on this.
Yeah, roll away to full 8 foot somewhere. You might even potentially make the double in the back by doing it.
Now, would it be more important to make the double and roll out, or more important to make the roll?
More important to make the roll somewhere over there. Anywhere over there is a good spot. I don't know if you wanted to roll quite that far, but that's a good enough spot for now.
So he'd like to freeze to this, or a little jiggle?
Yeah, basically I think the same shot he was just calling.
Sweeping for line right now?
Yeah, I think it might be really light because the thrower doesn't look very impressed with himself. So.
The look of disgust.
Yeah.
A couple taps of the broom on the ice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's It's definitely one of those ones that you don't need the other guys in your team to tell you missed. He knew right away. So now Loewen's got a real good chance here if they can get one in there again. All of a sudden it gets real difficult for Ethan to stop Loewen from scoring a 2 or 3.
Nowhere to hide.
No, exactly. You can't really hide around those yellows. So it must be really close, I think, because
Yeah, perfect.
yeah, it's a good spot. Now you got to decide if you're Ethan. I mean, you could almost make that in-turn draw fully buried. I don't know that you can really afford to open it up, but you don't have a whole lot of other options.
Can you get to the back of the 4 foot?
Yeah, you could definitely get to the back of the 4 foot on the in-turn, like back button area. It might be shot, but this freeze for now, if you could weld this freeze on, give yourself a rock that you can use in a bit. Even if you come up like full top 12. If you're full top 12 or something, at least it's something that you can tap or run or... Right now, Team Young doesn't have a whole lot of options.
Doesn't want to be heavy on this.
No, you don't really want to bounce off too far. But I think he might be bouncing off. Yeah. So, it does make it a little more difficult now.
Looks like a somewhat easy double. Roll it to the wings.
Yeah.
Get rid of that back blue at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's probably the call. And then lie bunch. And
Or do you want to just get rid of it?
yeah, I mean, you could also try to make a little roll in.
Yeah, because you're going to set
If
something
you-
up if you hit it the wrong way.
Yeah, if you could ever make a little roll in to like the button area, Ethan wouldn't have a chance to score. But you make this double. And, oh. Alright, jam the double. So now Ethan could, if he wanted to, just freeze that back at some point and basically get out of it with only giving up a 2.
He's still liking that freeze to the shot rock. But if it's heavy, you can always take it by and freeze to his back one. So
yeah, I don't know that you want to freeze the back one yet, but basically just get a rock in there somewhere. They're going to need a miss, I think, from Loewen to, and some good shots here. So. Sweeping that, but it might be back on the back one.
a little deep.
Yeah, so I think you'll just see Loewen make the double now. Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to hold this anywhere in there.
So these teams, other than the team that goes to the Nationals, they keep on playing at club level and keep on spieling for the rest of the year?
Season's basically over for under 21 juniors. A lot of these guys are still under 18. So if you're under 18 level, the season keeps going. But if you're out of under 18s and in the under 21, you're basically done at Christmas if you don't just after. You play league play or whatever with your team if you're in one.
Do they have the mixed doubles for the juniors?
Yeah,
No?
they have that
So
as
they
well.
have that.
That's coming up here this week, I think, actually.
That's for the,
So.
the senior.
Yeah, I
The
think
Mayflower
I
starting.
think the juniors is the same
Time frame?
close to it. Yeah, down
Wow.
in Chester, I think. So yeah, your season's pretty short if you're just an under 21 junior. Last year we were done, but then at the same time, a lot of the under 21 juniors are university age, and they're on university curling teams and stuff like that. So
Okay.
you're still playing all year, even though sometimes when you're
Well, you
done
pretty
this
well
week-
have to.
Yeah.
You have to keep playing.
Even when you're done this week, and sometimes you don't want to be playing anymore for the year, but you got all sorts of stuff to look forward still. So
Yeah, I noticed that the travelers level, or I guess, is it still, it's not travelers. It's not really club level either.
yeah,
But those guys we have a timeout on our sheets.
yeah, looks like it.
They think they're done if they don't make provincials.
Yeah,
And it's like, really? You got 2 months of curling left
yeah.
that you can work on your game.
Yeah, it's hard for a lot of things because they don't have any junior cash spiels or anything. Same with the men, so there's not really any men's cash spiels either after the tankard. So it's kind of hard to really
Stay motivated?
Yeah, when you're going out and playing in your league play isn't the same as going out and trying to make some money and playing in spiels against the top teams and stuff. Hard to really want to practice just to go out and play in a league on Tuesday nights or something. But
Yeah.
it's something that
You become club curlers, basically,
yeah,
at that point.
Yeah, basically.
So Callahan did score a deuce in the 9th end. So they're down 9-7 playing in the 10th against Stevens.
Yeah.
Sheet C is in a timeout as well. And Moore's up 7-6 playing in the 9th end.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what they're talking about here, what they're going to try to do.
Are they looking at the freeze? Or still try to get in that pocket, freeze that top yellow? Or
I think they were calling the freeze to the top, but I think they called the timeout, so I'm not sure. It is Skip's first rock. I would be almost tempted to freeze that back blue right now.
Yeah.
And then when they blast it out, then you throw the intern draw, try to sink one around
The
to
other
the
side.
to the button. Try to get shot, and if not, second shot's good. Force them to one that way, I think. And so I think they're throwing the freeze to the back one. That's what it looks like. So we'll see what they're doing here.
Is this over curling?
Straight welds the corner of that. Yeah, it's not bad.
They can't get to the nose and get the double.
Yeah. Yeah, if they can make that, it's really good. It'll also give them a...
Is the jam there?
The jam is there, I think, but...
It's hard to tell by
It's
the
hard
overhead.
to do, I think, because I think if you hit it anything high, it's going to wick off the yellow first, and then it'll make the double that way. So...
Nose or inside nose is what he wants to do.
Yeah, I think you want to... I don't think you want to hit nose. I think you want to go a little low if you can. Try to roll in, but... So, but if you stick anywhere out there, it's not bad. It's going to make it really tough for Ethan to set up a steal here. So. Yeah, he's not throwing it very hard, just a soft weight. He must be trying
Kinda
to
like
get to the
board.
inside. I think he's got the guard. Yep.
I think that was just down weight, or did he start that? Hard to tell from here, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it was down weight. I think that's what they wanted, but they seemed pretty adamant on sweeping it the whole way, so I don't think it was the greatest throw, maybe, but he was still pretty close.
I think I like the draw, that intern draw you were talking about here.
Yeah, if you could ever sink that in there.
You know.
I mean, if they are second shot right now, they could guard it, force Loewen to draw full 4
to make that intern.
To get 2, which the way this end was looking 3 rocks ago, it looked like Loewen was going to score 3 or 4. You'd probably be pretty happy with seeing him have to draw full 4 for 2. But I think that I would take a crack at making this draw now.
Yeah, I think Kieran the third, that's what he signaled. Ethan just tapped the ice there. I think I like that shot.
Yeah.
You know.
I think so. You basically played this whole end leaving that shot available for your last, so you might as well throw it.
Kieran taking a more serious look at that, but I'm pretty sure Blue is sitting second.
Yeah.
If the camera's right.
Yeah, I think Blue.
Looks like he's close by the way the sweepers are half sweeping it.
Yeah, I think if the line's good, they're really close.
Oh, I think they just left it a little short.
Still counting 1, I think.
Yeah, that's. If Loewen can hit that yellow, he can score a bundle here by hitting the yellow first. You can go yellow into the blue. It'll be for 3.
Will the shooter spin out off that blue, or will it stay there, do you think?
I don't think he can hit it thick enough to have it spin out, but he might be able to. Might spin out, but.
Oh, I see. It's yellow. Yellow. Oh, I see.
Yeah. As long as he touches the yellow, it's going to be for 2.
So the line was great on Ethan's last one.
Yeah.
Just the sweepers just misjudged it by a foot, and look what happens.
Yeah.
You know.
Even still, this isn't an easy shot here to score a few, so.
Let that top yellow be in the problem.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
He scored his 2. Nice shot by Loewen.
So that'll give them a
3-point
lead.
So that's a nice lead going to last night, even with the 5 rock rule. Little updates on the ladies' games out there on sheet B. Looks like Callahan is throwing her last rock. The score being 9-7.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a wide open hit over there for the win for Team Stevens.
And sheet C, we're at, my math here, tied up at 7. And looking crowded in the 4-foot right now.
So now we'll.
Any thoughts of throwing this through? Or you want to still keep somewhat on the attack?
I think you put them in the rings. I think that at a 4-point lead, I think you throw through. I don't think you throw through with a 3-point lead. By putting these rocks in good spots on the 4-foot and top 12, it can really cut down on Ethan's ability to score, like set up a 3, because he has to remove these rocks at some point.
So final shot on B right now. Steven just has to remove one of these, and
Yeah, they're cleaning, so
she'll have a chance to take it all. And then that next game at 2:30.
yep.
That was a battle between the Callahan sisters.
That was, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how Mike will feel about that one.
I think a little bit of a silver lining of his
Yeah.
daughter is going to be in the final with a strong chance of taking it all. They would now have to lose 3 in a row.
Yeah.
It's interesting. These look like easy shots, but they're so important.
Yeah.
You know, these have to be in the perfect spots.
Yeah, and there looks like he made 2 really good ones here. So, yeah, those are 2 good ones. You would have liked a little bit of separation between those probably, but Frozen's not bad. It's definitely not a bad result. So now we'll see Ethan's team throw up the second corner guard and try to generate a 3.
Guard this, or you come in.
I think you're going really tight.
Yeah.
If it slides in like top 12, you're not going to be mad about it. I don't think. I think you really don't want this to be a high halfway or a high guard. From the looks of the sweepers, I don't think it's going to be a high halfway.
Yeah.
So I think this might be coming right in.
They will be going into peel mode, I would assume, after the shot.
Yeah. Yeah, this one might be very heavy, actually. This is... That's not an awful spot, I guess. Ethan can use that later on to freeze, too. So you don't really like that, but...
I like to think of them as reverse guards.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. When you're trying to stop a team from scoring 3, you don't really love that staggered frozen rocks there, and you don't like having a rock behind them. So, but Ethan still has to deal with some, and I think he might actually be electing to hit this, which, yeah, I don't think that this is probably the time to play these ones yet, but
You go around one of your corners.
yeah, that was my thought. I think you play to the corners for a little bit. I think this is a shot you play on maybe mate's last.
Oh, I think he's just nosing.
Yeah, nosing it, and then now Ethan. It's a good shot. I mean, no one's going to peel. So. I think I would have saved that for a little bit later. But. He might have a chance here making both of them. Does he get the double peel? Yep.
Oh, yes.
It's a good shot. And that'll... So now's when you make that double peel and you start to hate the fact that you've thrown that rock in the back of the 8-foot, because that can be used now at some point to try to generate a third point.
Yeah.
Again, I think this might be just a shade too early to be throwing this freeze here.
Another corner
But
guard?
I think you throw the corner for now.
Do you freeze to the other one? Any thought to that? Freezing to that back 12 one?
At some point you're going to be freezing, but no matter what you do, Loewen's going to be peeling. I think you want to keep the play out of the rings for a bit and save these rocks, because once these rocks are gone,
They're gone.
they're gone for good, and you're not going to have any more chances.
Yeah, if this isn't perfect,
Yeah.
he's going to blast.
Yeah, like where that is now is not a great spot. I mean, you can probably clear all three, and you might get everything in the rings,
And
actually.
you're going to unlock that frozen one.
Yeah. Yeah, you could actually kill that frozen one. Everything could fly if you throw it hard enough and hit it right, and then...
Yeah, he's coming with big weight on this.
Yeah. So now... Yeah, that one flew easy. He could have actually gotten both of them. And then now, there's not much in the rings for Ethan.
Yeah, he's got to freeze.
But you never know. He's got a few rocks in the back he can freeze too and try to get some misses. But with how hard everyone's throwing, it's freezing on these rocks back 12. Even if you make the freeze perfect, it can still be taken out. So
This looks heavy.
yeah, they might make the... Yeah, so now...
That's a bad miss right there.
Yeah, so now it'll just be take out blue and take out another blue after this one, and the game will be over.
The concern here being the infamous jam. Hitting it just that wrong way.
Yeah.
It would jam on one of those back yellows, but even that's not bad.
No, I think you play it safe to... You just throw peel at it, and you'd be very unlucky to jam it. I think you just get rid of it, and even if it does jam, you'll still have 2 rocks to get rid of 2 rocks. So... you'll hit that. And now Ethan will probably come around that rock that just got left up front.
Come around the out turn or the in turn? I like the out turn.
I think the out turn.
You know, sets up a jam possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, the out turn I think is just a little easier for you.
So it's handshakes on C. We didn't see what happened though.
Yeah, I'm not
The
sure.
blue score? Okay. Our trusted scorekeeper is going to give us an update on that.
So, that same shot, and the game is over.
Yeah.
So, he's not wasting any time getting down there to throw, so. They're cleaning it, so good enough.
That would be it. Loewen moves on to the C final against Weagle. Young will live another day in the final tomorrow. He will have to beat, depending on what happens.
Yeah, it would be tonight.
Tonight?
Possibly tonight. There's no way that Young isn't playing tonight. So
Yeah, because Young is now he's in the final because he won
yeah,
B.
Young will be in the semifinal tonight at 8 o'clock
Yeah.
against who we
don't know.
don't know yet. Could be Loewen again, or it could be Weagle.
So